Peter, first to you, your home state. Liberals still quietly optimistic of pulling off an upset tonight?
They're certainly in the hunt. We'll say they're in the hunt. It's a good seat if they were going to make a move and take a position off Labor in a first-term Labor government, obviously. It is Victoria, though, and the Liberal infrastructure, certainly at a state level, is not as good as it could be. There's a lot of legacy issues with the Liberal Party in Victoria, but I think Peter Dutton resonates in this seat. I mean, if you look at where this seat sits in terms of demographics and income and all of those things against the national average, it is absolutely squarely middle Australia. And both sides are throwing everything at it. I think the swing's on. It's how big the swing is.
Andrew, as Peter alluded to, that this is heartland, working class Australia. Carrum Downs, one of the suburbs, Redbridge polling suggested 80% of mortgage holders are in negative cash flow right now. It's a tough time for a lot of them.
Well, what I can tell you tonight, Kieran, is that Labor hasn't been behind in the polling here, but it has narrowed. So they were 52-48, as we revealed on Sunday Agenda a few weeks back. The last poll they did just over a week ago, I'm told, 50.5, on the brink of losing this seat. And so if the voters are in a particular mood today, or were today, that's going to be it in terms of Labor retaining this seat. So if you're putting your house on it, you would say Labor scrape over the line, but it depends on the sentiment, the mood of voters today, and I guess how well both parties went on the booze.
Steve,
that tight.
As Andrew said, there's definitely a sense from both sides that things narrowed in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
No question. I think both Peter and Andrew, I agree with almost everything they said. I mean, this is a seat that, Victoria's not a great seat for Peter Dutton, but this is a seat that's great for Peter Dutton, even though it's in Victoria. The demographics, it's got, absolutely the sort of territory Peter Dutton needs if he wants to win an election without having to try and win back too many of those teal seats. So this is an important signal, whether the Dutton approach is resonating with those key seats. And I'd agree with Andrew's mail. I think it has narrowed substantially. I think the Labor team are nervous tonight.
And what is interesting about that is when they changed the tax cuts package, initially they got the bump, the response, I guess, but then it's come back. And you wonder how across the electorate, especially when you look at the national polls, is that the case as well? And this is a big test in terms of whether it was worth breaking that promise, it has to be said.